Subotica is located at the northern part of the province of Vojvodina in the Republic of Serbia. Szeged, the largest city of the southern Grand Plain region of Hungary, is a cultural and tourist center. Their histories share a common fate and a common past that had developed into a close link throughout the centuries. The towns barely managed to survive the Mongol invasion. King Béla IV sent freed Serbs as settlers to the area of Subotica while initiating city constructions in Szeged. During the 150 years of Turkish rule, people escaped from the depopulating Subotica to the more protected sultanic domain of Szeged, accompanied by Franciscan friars. The Turkish period was closed by the Battle of Zenta and the subsequent Treaty of Karlovitz in 1699. Life started slowly in former Ottoman territories. The population moved back to its former place of living, so the title of market town was bestowed upon Subotica as early as 1743 by Maria Theresa, and some 4 decades later, the town earned the title of Free Royal City as well in 1779. The 18th and 19th centuries were a phase of economic recovery for both cities. Nearby desolate steppes became populated, farm centers, villages were established to develop into towns by the 20th century. A gloomy period in the history of Szeged was the Great Flood of 1879. Loss and grief were immeasurable. With combined effort, Szeged was rebuilt and was reborn as a modern city. At the time, architecture was dominated by eclecticism, but less than a decade had passed when the city landscape was already shaped by notable buildings born in a new style. This new direction was Art Nouveau that pervaded everything: lifestyle, philosophy, tiny details of human environment, including the fine arts and even fashion. Art Nouveau meant progress and the modern. Healthy living became the center of attention, which is clearly demonstrated by the Olympic Games at Police, starting from the 1880s, organized and financed by Dr. Lajos Vermes, where sportsmen of the time could match their endurance and skillfulness in athletic contests and bicycle velocipede races. As a result, physical training clubs were organized in both cities, one after the other. Bath life was blooming. Body hygiene and the healing power of water welling up out of the deep were gaining importance. Numerous buildings demonstrate how modern the citizens of the two cities were considered at the time. At the turn of the century, Art Nouveau dominated the architecture of Subotica and Police. An outstanding building, the City Hall mesmerizes onlookers by its monumentality as well as its beauty. It is indeed flamboyant, elegant and proud, just like the people of the time, and consequently the entire city they lived in. They were keen to show their wealth, modernity, and good taste. The walls of the City Hall, full of folk motifs and flowers, the carved and chiseled wood of doors, the colorful windows, and the staircase decorated with zsolnai majolika, create such a fundamental unity that tourists cannot find anywhere else but in Subotica. The City Hall Saloon is an open history book. The analysis of the coat of arms motifs, the sight of monarchs, generals, and politicians on sash curtains reveals the history of a millennium. In the square before the building, the blue fountain is standing like an anchored ship, and it is attracting people to feast their eyes on its sight. The sunbeams reflected off the shiny surface of the glazed majolica completely repaint the surroundings in a moment. Among the many beautiful houses of the Subotica promenade, one looking for Art Nouveau might immediately notice the building of the Savings Cooperative. Beehive motifs at the entrance and in the street front symbolize the building's purpose. The irregular asymmetric building, standing on a regular rectangle-shaped site, has manifold window shapes, balconies, and human and animal squirrel-shaped motifs that assign a rhythm, a tune to this piece of art. But this fantastic journey is far from over. Around the corner to the left, you will find yourself in front of 3 buildings. Each one is a masterpiece. The master is Ferenc Rajch, architect who intended the middle building to be his own house, which today is the picture gallery of modern arts. The gateway of the facade, decorated with oriental motifs, should jump out in order to draw attention to the main entrance. But not in this case. This main entrance deepens inward compared to the plane of the head wall, thus receiving emphasis and making those arriving to the building from the front to feel an urge to enter. How brilliant! About the roofing structure and the majolica tiles covering it, one might think that if they have ever seen such a thing, it must have been in a dream. The Subotica synagogue is currently under restoration. The plans of the building, constructed in the first half of the 20th century, were handed in for a Szeged synagogue tender, where it won second prize. As a result of the tender's success, the plan collecting first prize was implemented in Szeged. Jewish people in Subotica had not invited tenders, but bought the work of Marcel Komor and Dezső Jakab. The building is smaller in size than the one in Szeged, but its beauty ensures a place among the most outstanding buildings of Art Nouveau. Its pre-restoration state interior decoration also indicates the building's former splendor. Besides the synagogue and city hall in Subotica, Marcel Komor and Dezső Jakab built something of lasting value in Police. The decorative gate of the main promenade, which also functions as a water tower, the building of the Vigadó with the bandstand, the lake, the hotels of the park, and the ladies' bath are symbols of the genius of the two architects. The promenade around the lake, the buildings in the wooded parkland, the numerous turreted villas, and the statue of Dr. Lajos Vermes portrayed in cycling clothing are inviting the tourists to a time travel. The most beautiful and the best known creation of Art Nouveau in Szeged is the statue of Pista Danko. The songwriter Danko had a legendary love life with the blonde-haired and blue-eyed Ilonka Jó. The love of the gypsy boy and the Hungarian girl is a story of Art Nouveau full of romanticism. The statue, which is the creation of Ede Margot from 1912, has the characteristics of Art Nouveau. The pink and white marble statue portrays melancholic songwriter with his violin in front of a wild rose bush. The Deutsch Palace is situated near the statue of Danko. The facade of the building and the two staircases praise the handwork of Ödön Lechner. The facade articulation can be interpreted as the spatialization of a sonata. Its rhythms are so expressive and plastic. The direct contact with Subotica is realized through Ferenc Rajch, who designed the completely amazing building of the Earl's Palace. The main facade of the building is placed in a frame by the slim towers in the corners. The rhythm of the facade is comprised of the alternation of the small and long balconies, and curved ceramics of Hungarian motifs bring color to the ornaments besides the gold mosaics of Eastern style. The Moritz House is located in Szent István Square, which was built by post office clerk József Moritz, and it is also the work of Ferenc Rajch from 1910. The blue glazed majolica motifs of the building in the corner site reminds its visitor to the embroidery on Hungarian shepherds' felt cloaks. The Calvinist Palace is next to Kakasos Temple, Weathercock Temple on Tisza Lajos Boulevard. It is one of the last works of the illustrious and hopeful architect Ede Magyar, who died tragically at a young age. The allegorical depiction of sowing and reaping can be found in the top boxes of the two facades. The Goldschmidt Palace is located in Tábor Street, which is the first major tenement house of Ede Magyar from 1905. The facade, articulated by Evan corpse and gypsias tympanums, was richly decorated by the Western European-looking design elements of the Art Nouveau. Modifications made in the 1950s, the heightening, deprived the building from its ornaments. However, the main gate with its insect eye-looking glass and the line of lady figures made of gypsum at the side of the doorway remained. The fragmented remains of the palace's amazing main entrance suggests a talented architect and a brilliant implementer. The new synagogue is the most outstanding building of Szeged from 1903 that was built in the styles of Art Nouveau and eclecticism. The plant decoration and the interior wall painting of the compelling and sizable building have an astonishing effect on the visitor. The colorful windows were made at the famous workshop of Miksa in Budapest. We can track the main events of the history of the Jewish people here. Chief Rabbi Löw Immanuel, who was proficient in natural sciences, gave suggestions to designer architect Lipót Baumhorn. The new synagogue of the city is the wonderful manifestation of the joint work of the two talented individuals. The Rök Palace, which was designed by Ede Magyar, is the pearl of the buildings in Szeged that were built in the style of Art Nouveau. He got the commission to build a palace from Lajos Iván Rök and his wife. The construction of the building was finished by 1907. The rhythm of the open and closed variations of the facade's balconies, the wrinkled walls, the beauty of the blown lilies elevated the palace into the most outstanding building of the Hungarian Art Nouveau. The Ungarmeier Palace is at the corner of Dugonit Square and Kara Street, which was built by Ede Magyar between 1910 and 1911. We can find Sándor Varga's work among the ornaments of the tower that looks like an onion dome. These are the gold figures made of tin that we can know from the doorway of Goldschmidt Palace. Subotica and Szeged have so many treasures for their visitors if we are looking for the link based on the new style called Art Nouveau. The number of activities that can be offered to the exploring tourist is uncountable and almost inexhaustible. A couple of these activities are, for example, numerous events and their colorful cavalcade, or the similar natural environment of the two cities. The Ludas lakes near Subotica and the Ava fauna of Fehértó near Szeged are the paradise of ornithologists and amateur hikers. As it is all about tourism, we must mention a similarity in the end, which is nothing else but the excellent gastronomy, food and beverages of the two cities combined with their unrivaled hospitality. You are all welcome, be our guests in Subotica and Szeged.